Hello everyone, I'm Skratch. Welcome to the channel. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Guess what? Plarium announced the new fusion. Now, I gotta say it is a bit faster than I expected it because, yes, they usually do announce the fusions on Thursdays, but guess what? It's not gonna start on Thursday. It's gonna be next week, and if I'm not mistaken, it's going to start on Monday, guys. This is a first for a fusion. Now, the very first thing that I've noticed today was Fusion warm-up event, and I was like, say what? Today you have earned 69 points? Oh my god, Skratch. How you managed to do that? I bet this dude did it intentionally. I actually didn't, but I've noticed this and I was like, okay, we're gonna have a fusion. Now we have the Call of the Arbiter today, right? So it kind of like made sense. Keep in mind, when I'm recording this video, right, like it's gonna be earlier than when you're gonna see the Call of the Arbiter episode. I haven't seen it just yet either, but I'm looking forward to it. But basically, it's gonna be a character from the new episode, guys. And yes, it's kind of like being teased a very long time ago. A lot of people kind of like thought that, okay, this is gonna be the Artec champion, when it was actually a dwarf. But basically, let me just quickly walk you through everything. I'm beyond excited to share some exclusive info that on Monday, July 3rd, we're planning to launch a fusion event of a brand new champion you'll see in Raid Call of the Arbiter limited animated series in just a bit. And that will be added to the game shortly after Gnut. And basically, he's a dwarf, legendary, defense-based spirit affinity, okay? That's what we know about the champion. And this is what Plarium wrote in here, by the way. And if you need some help in the Fire Knight's castle, Gnut is perfect match for both normal and hard mode, having 3 hits on his A1, allowing Gnut to break Fire Knight's shield faster, same as the counter attack on his A2, and decrease his turn meter with each hit on normal mode. And if we're talking about the hard mode, the ability to place a freeze debuff will definitely be helpful. Will also come in handy with Hydra, thanks to his single target attacks, A3 skills, and its damage scales on his defense and target's HP. Quite an interesting passive skill that allows Gnut to deal full damage and not just 75% when counterattacking. So that is actually super interesting, man, to be able to counterattack and don't have the penalty, right? So every single champion in the game, when they counterattack, they have a penalty. So they lose 25% of their damage, just so you guys know. And seems like he's not going to do it. Basically, if we're gonna quickly have a look at the champion, this is the bad boy right here. Looks pretty interesting. Now, when we're having a look at Gnut's skills, let me just zoom in a bit right here. So, if we're gonna pay attention to his A1, attacks one enemy 3 times. Each hit will have fully booked 100% chance to decrease the target's turn meter by 15%. Ladies and gentlemen, I present you the new Allure. Yes, Allure does drop 25% per hit, but guess what? Allure just does that and nothing else. He's actually bringing in a lot of different things to the table. So this champion right here is actually gonna be massive for every single one of you guys out there. So honestly, this is one of those fusions that I usually say don't skip. Don't skip because it's a strong champion. So if we're gonna go a bit lower, if the target's turn meter is not decreased, which is gonna happen on some bosses, each hit will have 100% chance of placing a freeze debuff on the target for 1 turn instead. So basically, the new allure for the new hard mode Fire Knight, because a freeze will drop the turn meter by 20%, if I'm not mistaken, on a Fire Knight hard mode, and he has 100% chance to do that 3 times. So you're gonna drop 60% of the Fire Knight's turn meter. And this will be for everybody who can get the champion, guys. I know the Fire Knight dungeon at the moment is the hardest content in the entire game, together with the Sand Devil and the Iron Twins, but the Fire Knight stage 10, it really requires crazy champions, it really requires crazy gear if you wanna complete that content. Plus, it freaking takes like 3-4 minutes to get it done. So this champion is gonna add a massive value to everyone's account. Then, with the A2, Fury of the King attacks all enemies, 100% chance fully booked on a 3-turn cooldown to land decrease attack and a weaken on all enemies for 2 turns. Also, places a counterattack buff on this champion for 2 turns, which makes him really good because if he's gonna have the counterattack, you don't need to bring in a Valkyrie. He's gonna do the job with his A1, you know, he's gonna counterattack with it, bring in the decrease attack, bringing in the weaken, increasing the damage. So definitely awesome stuff. If we're gonna have a quick look at his A3, Blast Bash attacks one enemy 3 times. Each hit decreases the target's defense by 3%, stacks up to 30%. Very, very nice. Each hit also heals this champion by 30% of the damage dealt. This skill will be on a 4-turn cooldown. Now, if I'm not mistaken, from what I've seen right here, he'll also come in handy with Hydra, thanks to his single target attack A3 skill, as it damages scales on his defense and targets max HP. So basically, he's gonna be an enemy max HP champion with the A3. Now, it doesn't say it right here on the image, on the graphic, but Platinum is saying it in the text. So we should expect this champion to be an enemy max HP, which, wow, for the Fire Knight, guys, to have this triple hit, enemy max HP, triple hit on the A1, he's gonna be so freaking OP, man. He's gonna be absolutely a must-have champion for Fire Knight hard mode. Let me just put it like that, you know. So I do want to say big props to Platinum for adding a champion in this way, where they're not gonna lock it behind a massive paywall. Yes, some of the fusions can be locked behind paywalls. Let me not talk a bit too early. They can do multiple summon events and lock fragments or different things like that, but hopefully that's not going to be the case. And let me just quickly check, is it a classic fusion or a fragment, because I kind of like missed that part, you know. We're planning to launch a fusion event, okay, so it's not a fragment, so it's going to be a bit harder than the fragment fusions, guys. Hopefully it's not going to be made impossible, you know, and I do hope that the majority of you guys will be able to get a champion. Make sure you're stacking shards, you're stacking on everything. We do have 2x ancients and a 10x on Theodore this weekend. Skip it, you know, keep your shards, stack everything that you got, because you don't want to miss on this champion. 100% no. And then the passive, when counterattacking, deals 100% of the damage instead of 75%. And the aura increases ally accuracy in dungeons by 80. So as a quick example, if we're going to head into the game, go to Demon Spawns. Allure, she was the most OP champion for Fire Knight normal mode ever, okay? With the A1, decreases the target star meter by 25% on each hit. The A2 meant nothing. The A3 meant nothing. The aura meant nothing. And she was squishy. And she was still the #1 most used champion on Fire Knight normal mode, okay? I just want to point that out. Now, this new champion, he brings so much firepower. Enemy max HP on the A3. Think about Acrisia. Now, I don't know the multipliers. I'm not going to be able to say, okay, he's going to hit as hard as Acrisia. But think about Acrisia's A3 or A2. Attacks all enemies 2 times. Attacks one enemy 2 times. Enemy max HP, HP, and attack. And this is on a 3-turn cooldown. That's going to be on a 4-turn cooldown, but that's not the point. You're still going to have a lot of firepower to help you with a Fire Knight, to knock that Fire Knight down, you know? So it's going to be pretty important to have that champion. I'm definitely not going to skip the fusion, no matter what. But that's for me because I'm more endgame. Of course, if some of you guys don't have the resources, you can break the bank to get it done. If we're gonna check the boss quickly, so go over to Fire Knight's Castle. We're gonna go to hard mode and just quickly to check the boss, right? Like, I think it's the boss guide right here. So let's quickly check the 15% of the turn meter, so not 20. Instantly removes any freeze debuffs placed on Tainted Fyro. Decreases Tainted Fyro's turn meter by 15% for each freeze debuff placed on him. When attacked, he destroys the HP and stuff, but basically, that champion is instantly going to drop 45% turn meter on the boss with the freezes, guys. Because are 100% chance. We don't have a champion that does that in the game. That's why I really think that we shouldn't disregard the dwarf. Ganut coming to Raid Shadow Legends to kind of like help us with a Fire Knight dungeon. And he's going to be good for Hydra with the enemy max HP hit if you don't have different champions. Plus you have AoE decrease attack and weaken. He has the counter attack to buff himself. He can be a pretty good mischief target as well. Tons of different things. The accuracy aura for dungeons, if you're looking at progression. So he's definitely not a bad champion. I do want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think about the champion? Are you planning to go for it? I do think he's one of the best fusions they had in a while. And yes, all these summoning events, they kind of like drain the people. We discussed about it on the stream. We discussed about it on a different video that probably we're going to have a solid fusion coming after it. And seems like it is the case. But appreciate every single one of you guys watching. Much love, and I'll catch you all soon in the next video. Peace.